Coach, I think we've kind of talked about it, but you're out here and it's 35 degrees and it's wet and it's cold, and you're going to go down and it's hot. It's going to be, that dry heat. Is there a certain mentality you have to prepare for, prepare the team for, knowing that it's going to be a pretty drastic change weather-wise?
We are the elements, Jamie. You know what I mean? I mean that. Okay, so you're going to let the elements dictate what you're doing. This is what it is. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to practice. We're out here. We're going to practice in 39 and play in 89. I mean, there's a mentality to everything that we do in life. So we can say, hey, how are the elements going to affect us, or how are we going to affect the elements? We've been talking about it all week. It isn't just now. It's how we perform and everything that we do. So that's the mentality of the team, and it needs to be better because today's practice wasn't good enough.
When you were playing, did you ever play in like a warm weather? I know you were up in Wisconsin. Was it mostly kind of cold weather climates?
When I actually played,
when you actually
20 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah, no, there was cold. There were some cold games. Hot weather. I'm sure there are some days, but it's Wisconsin. It's humid. But those days are kind of washed out of my memory bank, to be honest with you.
Glory days, right?
Glory, kind of, yes.
What's maybe the biggest thing that you guys feel like you need to maybe you said today's practice wasn't good enough. What's maybe the biggest thing you want to correct between now and Saturday that maybe you didn't see out here today?
Well, I think there's a bunch of different things, and it starts with our mentality coming out the field. We can't wait till period 12 to have great energy and effort and want to execute, right? So where was that in pre-practice? Where was it in fast start? Where was it in Indy? I mean, the focus and energy, you just can't turn it on and off. I mean, we're going against a really good team. Okay, this defense is real. It's coached really well. Arizona State has always been extremely talented, period. Now they're playing hard. They're playing hard with all that talent, and you see it. And they have challenging schemes, very attacking schemes. We got to be on our best to go out there and win, and we can't have a half practice on a Wednesday to go out and win. Okay, offense, they're going to run the ball. We haven't been great in our run fits. We got to have more focus in our finish to be physical and communicate and want to come out here and do it on Wednesday. Because it's not just going to show up on Saturday. I mean, their tailback is a dude. So, I mean, that's the mentality of this team, and it's going to be tested every day. We want to finish strong, but then we better act like we're out here finishing strong, right? So that was the message.
Does he remind you a little bit of Max Borghi at all?
No. This guy is – I'm not – nothing against Max. Max is phenomenal, but this guy is between the tackles, physical, downhill. They got the scat cat, whatever they call it, right? Him running at the Wildcat. So he's versatile. I mean, he's thrown 5 passes this year. I mean, he's done a lot, and he's brought a lot to their offense, and he's kind of the catalyst that gets everything going for sure.
I see about Lincoln the other day. I think with him, like, the temptation might be to look at him as like a smaller slot receiver who's just kind of a quick guy. But for him to get back out there as fast as he did after the angle, there's got to be some element of toughness to him as well. How would you kind of describe that part of him?
I think that's in his DNA, always, period. And just because you're a receiver and you're quick and you're catching balls, toughness is just as important out there. If you want to find that, pull up a Coach Leach clip. He'll explain it to you really quick on how toughness matters at the receiver position, because it isn't, like I said, everyone thinks it's a flashy spot. In this offense, you got to block. You got to find different ways to prove that you can do different things in space, and I just think the injury coming back shows his heart too.
Because I asked him too, you probably didn't have to be in the recovery room as often as he was when he was hurt. And he said that was important to him because they would just want to be out there for the team, and he felt like that wasn't right for him to not go as hard as he could.
Yeah, I meant it the first day after he got hurt. If there was 26 hours in the day, he would have spent 26. But that's how dedicated, that one person is to wanting to be great, and that's got to be infectious to the team. And what an example for these young guys that come out here and see Lincoln. He doesn't waste a day. I don't know if I've been around Lincoln and felt like, man, he didn't give his all that day. So what a character trait to have that's going to lead to a lot of success in life.
I know you said Dylan would be more involved in the rushing attack now. You also mentioned Leo and Javinsky. Are you thinking we'll see them more on Saturday, or how do you think they'll kind of figure into it?
Yeah, Dylan's going to be out for this game, high ankle sprain. So Javinsky's ready. And Leo's getting ready himself, and we need big things out of Nakia. We need one of those big games, and obviously a protection game is going to be huge. I mean, not just part of that running back's job. They have very complicated pressure scheme. But we gotta live in the details this week. I mean it. I've been scout defensive coordinator this week. It's been fun, yet extremely frustrating, right? But at the same time, like I mean it. We gotta live in the details, right? When we see something that we know that we got on tape and we're seeing it, we gotta make sure we're executing in those moments. So that's with the protection piece too.
Obviously there's a lot of familiar faces on the other sideline, and I'm not going to say is it a distraction because I know what your answer will be, but, is it one of those things where, maybe there's something that they might know that you guys will do, or is it just completely different now because they weren't here with Ben?
Well, I think defensively we know each other very well, punt schemes. I mean, there's a million different things that you really look for and look to say, hey, let's be sharp, let's do what we do, but, they know this check, or they know those type of things, or, hey, we've seen that hand signal, hey, guys, that means this certain thing. You got to play that cat and mouse game a little bit, but got a lot of respect. They're great coaches, and they're having a phenomenal year on defense, and like I said, they're playing their tails off.
Not so much even asking availability regards, but you mentioned Quinn had a medical issue. I mean, how's he doing just kind of with that? And
he had to have surgery to clear out an infection, but he's doing well. He's back on his feet, back at home, and I think another guy you'll see out here sooner than later because that's the fighting spirit of Quinn, and he'll be back hopefully as soon as possible. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys, go Cougs.